So Israel is the first country to cancel tariffs on U.S. goods into Israel, and thus trying to avoid tariffs on its Israeli goods in the high-tech sector going into the US. So what is the real issue regarding these tariffs? Well, April the 2nd, today is Liberation Day, where essentially what Trump wants to do is release the US from $131 billion of an imbalance on the balance of trade. He wants to stop living off a deficit where the country is continuing to borrow money like under Biden-Harris, and he wants to put the country back on an even keel. He is doing that through the DOGE department run by Elon Musk, which is not the most popular guy in the world as far as the socialists are concerned. I do actually like him. By cutting government waste by $1 trillion, applying tariffs, he wants to rebalance the economy. But tariffs, in principle, can add to inflation and are inflationary, but only as a blip, only as a short period of time. They're not long-term adding to inflation. So you could see inflation pick up in the first few months, and then what tariffs normally are deflationary. Now, looking at the consumer coming into 2025 was not in a strong place. So a consumer-led growth is not there, and consumer confidence is low at the moment. So that's a pretty negative, and there are several economists that are believing that because of a weak consumer, we're going to go into recession, which will affect corporate earnings. So this is probably the biggest gamble of the US history on trade and economy run by Donald Trump, which is running the gauntlet. Now, there are people who are concerned that tariffs are going to be a failure, like the Smoot-Hawley tariffs of 1930s in the US that led to isolationist trade war and eventually deflation. However, I am not of that opinion, and many economists are not of that opinion. In fact, tariffs will bring the negotiations to a head. It will take time. Negotiations don't happen in one day, and you've got to have patience to play this out. But this is a big gamble, rebalancing the US balance of trade, and that is really the tactic what Trump is aiming for. So it has to really be seen, watched, and see how it's going to go. But I expect overall the economy to do well. If you want to get on board to the webinar that we are running discussing all this, then you need to comment webinar, and we'll send you a link. Catch you later.